you enjoy it. Veterans Day, which is celebrated on November 11th, is a way to celebrate and honor American veterans for their patriotism, love of country, and willingness to serve, and sacrifice for the common good. Today we recognize and thank all veterans of the uniformed services who served or are still serving. Please stand for the presentation of colors by the Dexter American Legion and remain standing as we recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States. You may be seated. At the Dexter School, we are honored to have veterans on our staff. We would like to recognize those staff members now. When I call your name, please stand and be recognized. Stephen Edwards, Sergeant in the Marine Corps. Mary Faye Smith, Operations Specialist, 2nd Class Petty Officer in the Navy. Dakota Sutherland, U.S. Army Specialist. E5 Sergeant in the Marine Corps. Braden Holt, E4 Corporal in the United States Army. Brad Hahn, United States Navy. Bill Hemby, EA United States Army. Thank you for your service to our country and to the school district. And now I would like to honor someone in our audience that is present here today. A World War II veteran and 99 years old. Can I have Mr. Sherman Webb give a wave to the audience at this time? We will now have an invocation given by Pastor Mitch Granger of the First Baptist Church of Dexter.
It is an honor to be here today to show our gratitude to our veterans that are here and around the world. I was fortunate to be raised by a family to give honor to people in the military. But it wasn't until I moved my family to Missouri in 2012 and we lived near Whiteman's Air Force Base and we did live with military families that we truly understand the sacrifice that you men and women have made over the years. Not just you, the soldier, but your husbands, your wives, your sons and daughters, your grandkids. The sacrifices that family makes for us to have the freedoms that we have in this great country. I encourage all you students, anytime you see someone wearing any kind of military insignia or hat, just to thank them. Because the privileges and freedoms that we have in our country are because these men and women, their sacrifices and sacrifices that their families have made over the years. So I want to thank you, men and women, for everything that you've done to serve this great country of ours. Let's pray. Our gracious Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for the opportunity that you've given us to be raised and live in this great country, the United States of America. Lord, the sacrifice that these men and women, their families have made over the years, it gives us the freedoms that we have. And Lord, too often we take these freedoms for granted. Lord, I just pray today as we honor these veterans, Lord, that they would feel our gratitude. And Lord, that every time that we pass by and see one of these men and women in our community, that we just thank them for their service. Lord, I just pray that you'd watch over them right now, just bless them and their families. I ask you to be with the men and women right now who are serving our country here and abroad. Just be with them, be with their families, keep them safe, protect them as they protect us. Jesus, it's in your name I pray. Amen.
Elementary, it is an honor today to present our second grade coin drive and coloring contest winners. And so we have Ms. Christy Bacon that will assist us as we announce these winners, and we want to thank you for your service and honor you each day and in our school. So we're going to start with the coloring contest winners. And remember, these are second graders. We have Amelia Riggins from Ms. Kirkpatrick's class. Brody Clark from Mrs. Ryan's class. You can make your way down. Miss Elliott Fish from Mrs. Finney's class. Millie Hunsaker representing Mrs. Cecil's class. Legion Ashlock from Mrs. Wilson's second grade class. Dawson Kennedy from Mrs. Boyer's class. And Mia Matthews representing Mrs. Purcell's class. I would like to thank Ms. Bacon for helping with that, and the kids worked on those in their art classes. Our second presentation is our coin drive, and I would like to thank Ms. Leah Cecil for working hard to collect coins in the second grade, and they raised $721.64, and Mrs. Cecil's class raised the most with $252.31. So we want to thank them for their hard work, and thank you on behalf of Southwest Elementary for your service and dedication to our country.
Good morning. I am Jennifer Boland, principal at Central Elementary. Our fifth grade students recently created Veterans Day posters under the guidance of our art teacher, Mrs. Melissa Whitaker, with the theme Honoring All Who Served. It's now time to recognize our contest winners. Students, when your name is called, please come forward to receive your certificate from Mrs. Whitaker and stay for a picture. From Mrs. Allen's class, we have Spencer Pippins. Mrs. Brown's class is Aria Parker. Mrs. Christian's class, Josie Garrison. Mrs. Gibson's class, Cicely Fowler. Mrs. Levin's class, Yanilka Delgado. Mrs. Lumica's class, Tesla McAdoo. Mrs. Miller's room is Emma Watson. And Miss Parker's classroom, Simber Reed.
I have the privilege of introducing our special speaker today. Russell Allen Hedrick was born in October of 1963 and was raised in a small farming community in Parma, Missouri. In 1970, his family moved to Dexter, where he attended Dexter Public Schools. He was a multi-sports athlete, a slightly above average student, and a 1982 graduate of Dexter High School. Allen was a gypsy during his college days. As a scholarship athlete at Pittsburgh State University, Allen pursued his sports passion as a tight end on the PSU Gorilla football team. After one fall session, he transferred to the University of Missouri Columbia to walk on to the Missouri Tigers football program. An injury in the summer of 1984 sidelined Hedrick, who then transferred to the Missouri State University to complete his BS degree in agricultural business. With the dedication to civic involvement, Allen made a career decision to join the countywide insurance agency team as a sales producer in December of 1989. He achieved notable success as a sales producer for the agency. In spite of a 5-month absence from countywide in 1991, when he served with the 1221st Transportation Unit of the Missouri Army National Guard in Kuwait during the Gulf War. Hedrick has continued to serve others through his church, community, and insurance affiliation. Allen's and comments to work fall secondary to his dedication to his faith and to his family. He is married to his wife Tracy for 37 years. They have 2 sons, Zach and Morgan, daughter-in-law Tamara Hedrick, forgive me for mispronouncing that, and 2 grandchildren, Ross and Evie. Thank you.
Y'all like that? I almost started on page 7 of my notes. It would have been quick. But thank you for the warm welcome, and I'm honored to be here today. Thank Ms. Woolley and Claire Esner and those that have made this possible, the district. You know, we do something really neat here in bringing all the students together to honor veterans. It's a visual, it's an experience, and it's something that I commend the district for. Very few places go to this length to do something as great as this. It's really a special thing. Veterans Day is set aside to remember every man and woman who has taken up arms to defend our country. We honor soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, Coast Guardsmen who gave some of the best years of their life in the service of the United States. They stood ready to give their life if that was called upon. There's over 18 million military veterans, and on November 11th, our nation celebrates them and thanks them all. So Veterans Day is Tuesday, right? But what's tonight? Does anybody know what tonight is? It's Bearcat football night. Tonight, the Dexter Bearcats take on the Scott City Rams. And that's where kind of being a part of the team all started for me. Right here at Charles C. Bland Stadium underneath those Friday night lights. I was a part of the team. I think most of the players, and if you're on volleyball or whatever your sport, band, whatever it is that you're a part of, you realize being part of that group is extremely very special. So that brotherhood and the long-time friendships that are developed there on that battlefield of Friday night football was really an inspiration to me. It's the grind, the battle, the struggle that built my personal character in a lot of ways. Football was my purpose, often noted as the greatest times of your life. Gentlemen that play football and those coaches that remain from it, that are coaching you, they'll tell you it's some of the greatest times of your life is on that football field. So trust me with that. But we all need purpose, and no matter what it is, purpose matters in our life. Life's kind of a journey, and some of the best things in life that have happened to me have kind of happened by accident. They just happened. You know, my football college days were over, and I didn't know what was next. I was really, to a degree, trying to figure it out. And so it's kind of a road trip that Bobby Thrower and I just kind of got together, and we decided we were going to join the ROTC group. And we went to Fort Hood and got involved with that. And it was just really more so than a passion to join the military and all the things you hear about being a part of the military. It was kind of something that just happened in my life. It was a way to finish school. It took me a lot longer than my parents appreciated. It took me 6 years to finish school. My son wanted on the same program, and I tried to introduce him to a Army recruiter, and he decided that maybe it was better he finished in 4. So it's a way to do it. But by accident, it's an unplanned experience that I ended up in the military. So life's funny that way. And sometimes your unplanned experiences in your life, they create paths that you don't know what's coming down the road. Because of that unplanned decision, I'm proud to be called a veteran in the United States of America. You see, I stand now beside great men that I have a lot of honor for, in people like Dallas Buchanan, Pete Hester, Don Daddy Jack Mathis, Charlie Cruz, the late Jim Bland, Coach Clyde Vaughn, Steve Rahm, Mage Adams here in town. There's just a lot of notables that have influenced my life, and that's just to name a few. But just like many days ago at Charles C. Bland Stadium, serving in uniform forged bonds that time can't really touch. There's something that you do in that grind and what you do that makes a difference in your life. It gets deep in your heart and creates relationships that are really hard to surpass. You share in hardships, and over the time, you really become family. That feeling I first knew right here on the football field, in the locker rooms, on the field, late nights on Friday nights, that same sense of brotherhood came to me in the military and gave me a purpose at that point. These are people both on the field and in combat that I'll never forget. I'm a veteran, so I'm kind of obligated to carry forward that honor of being a veteran. It's important to me. To preserve the honor is my duty, and it should become one of all veterans, is to carry that forward. That's my hope for you all. Think of these guys on the front row here that saw an American Legion that was somewhat not active and not doing its thing. And Billy Kidd and Scott Northern and Wade McCormick and Tank all kind of came together and said, we're going to make something of this. So the American Legion is back up and running with a heartbeat now that's important not only to the veterans part of the world, it's important to our community, and something that I feel is really a big deal. So whether it's the mountains of Afghanistan or the deserts of Iraq, whether it's the swift combat battle of the Persian Gulf, as a long, uneasy watch of the Cold War, whether it's the steaming jungles of Vietnam, the bitter cold of Korea, or the brutal battlefields of the world wars, our nation will always be proud of every man and woman who offers themselves in defense of our country. And of that, freedoms are what we enjoy today. Each and every one of us enjoy those freedoms. Today, we pay tribute to those that didn't survive, that went to war and didn't come back. They didn't get to walk around as a veteran and be patted on the back and shook hands. Those people gave the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom, and I think that's really important. Their families also gave that. So in closing, veterans and all members of the armed forces really deserve our honor. Young people, I want you to hear me when I say this. You know, I walked in and we had T.S. Hill Middle School out here handing out cards and thanking veterans for what they did. It's a huge deal. And my hat's off to the district for taking the time to establish something that's so cool, that it's an experience again, that these young people get the opportunity to hand out a card and say thank you for your service. We're developing that within our communities. You don't know when you may be called upon to serve. And within that, protection of our freedom is really important. So I ask you to remember that. And when you're out, shake a hand. When you see a hat like this, shake their hand, hug their necks, look them in the eye, and thank them for what they've done. Let the veteran know and understand that you get what kind of sacrifice that they made for our freedoms. If you get a chance, buy them a cup of coffee, buy them lunch if that's something that you can do. But show your appreciation so they feel it from your heart to their heart. We owe them more than words, but the words of gratitude are certainly appreciated. Our nation values freedom, not just for ourselves, but for all. And because Americans are willing to serve and sacrifice for that cause, our nation remains the greatest force for good on this earth. What veterans have given this country is beyond our ability to repay, but today we recognize our debt to their honor. And on Veterans Day, our hearts are all full of respect and gratitude for all who have served in the United States. May God bless our veterans and their families, and may God continue to bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Molly Owens and I am the Junior Beta President. Today, I want to share with you a truly inspiring story about how one small act of kindness evolved into an annual event that now honors thousands of veterans every year. It all started with a man named Morrow Worcester and a few extra Christmas wreaths. Back in 1992, Morrow Worcester owned a company in Maine called Worcester Wreath. That year, his company had a bunch of extra Christmas wreaths left over after the holidays. Morrow remembered visiting Arlington National Cemetery as a child and how special that moment felt. He wanted to do something nice to honor all of the veterans in the older part of the cemetery that didn't get many visitors anymore. So with help from Maine Senator Olympia Snowe, he arranged to take the extra wreaths to Arlington. Everyone loved the idea so much that it became something they did every year. For years, the wreath project went on quietly, without much attention. But in 2005, everything changed. A photo of snow-covered headstones at Arlington, each with a wreath, spread all over the internet. Suddenly, people all across the country wanted to help. Thousands of messages came in from folks who wanted to volunteer, start their own wreath projects in their community, or just say thank you for honor our veterans in our country. This year, our Dexter Junior Beta Club wanted to contribute to this cause by selling wreaths across America to our community to fill the Bloomfield Veteran Cemetery. In the last 4 years, Dexter schools have raised over $70,000. Last year, 75% of the wreaths laid at the Veteran Cemetery in Bloomfield were sponsored by our 6th grade students at T.S. Hill Middle School. This year, our Beta Club decided to take the lead in selling wreaths for our school, and we need your help to sell as many as possible. Every member's goal for this year is to sell at least 4 wreaths. If you would like to go to the wreath laying ceremony, it will take place on December 13th at 11 a.m. Thank you for your support, and thank you to all of the veterans for fighting for our country. Thank you for your time, and have a great day.
Veterans Day is important to me because we honor the individuals who have fought for our country so we can have freedom.
I think Veterans Day is important because they fight for our country. It's a day to thank our veterans. I think Veterans Day is important because they helped our country get freedom. I think Veterans Day is important because people fight for our country and fought for it.
Veterans Day is important for me because without veterans we would not have freedom, and I'm thankful we have freedom. Veterans Day means that you celebrate the men and women who served in the military. You can celebrate Veterans Day by thanking them.
I think Veterans Day is important because they fought for our country and I think they deserve to be appreciated.
Veterans Day is important to me because I have long life family members serve. Honoring our veterans is important because they let us have freedom and they give us the privilege to be Americans.
Veterans Day is important to me because it honors the people that put their lives on the line for our country.
Why Veterans Day is important to me because they fought for us to save us and keep us safe.
Veterans Day is important to me because veterans fought for our freedom that we have today. Thank you so much, veterans.
Veterans Day is important to me because I have few family members that live in the county.
Veterans Day is important to me because they kept us safe.
It's important to
to me because it reminds me of when soldiers sacrificed their lives in war because they wanted the best for us. Thank you for helping us, Army.
Veterans Day is a day to remember all of the people who serve for our country.
What does Veterans Day mean to you?
A good day for all the veterans.
That's good.
It's the best.
Good.
It's the best day.
Veterans Day is a day to support our veterans that fought for our country.
To support the veterans that fought for our country.
Shout out to my dad. He's a veteran. Let's go.
Veterans Day means to me a day to celebrate my favorite substitute teacher, Mr. Berger.
That to respect and honor the people that serve.
Veterans Day means to me is to honor the people who have served our country.
Tell me about a relative of yours who's in the military.
I had a great-great-uncle who was in World War II.
Did you have any family members in the military?
Yes, I had a great-grandfather that was in the Army during World War II, but he has sadly passed away.
So,
Cole, did you have any family members in the military?
yes, my great-grandpa was in the military, but he sadly passed away.
What's your favorite thing about the Veterans Day Assembly?
Getting to learn about veterans who served in it.
Zane, do you have anyone in your family in the military?
Yes, my grandpa, he is 80 and he used to work for the Navy.
Ada, do you have any family members in the military?
My grandpa was in the Air Force.
Happy Veterans Day!
I support Veterans Day because it supports those who fought for our lives.
I think it is important to celebrate Veterans Day because all the veterans deserve the respect for all the times they've been through and harsh things they get after war and serving for our country.
I think Veterans Day is important to celebrate because they protected our country when we needed it.
It's important to celebrate Veterans Day to respect the veterans that fought for our lives.
It's important for Veterans Day because people died for us.
It's important to celebrate Veterans Day because they fought for our lives and they're the reason we have this country.
It's important to celebrate Veterans Day to recognize the veterans that fought for our lives.
Being a veteran means you fought in a war and such, and you fought for the country. They probably volunteered for or got drafted for, but you still fought. Anyway, being a veteran, we should celebrate it because some people died doing that, and we should celebrate all the people who died and all the people who lived and people who fought, people who died, left, and all that stuff.
of Dexter, it is an honor to be here, and we would like to thank all the veterans for their service, their dedication. And I have a question to the seniors. Do we have any young men and women who will be going into the military after your senior year? Anybody? I'm old, I can't see real well. One up there? Okay. Thank you. Nothing like putting her on the spot. I'm sorry, young lady. I want to thank Mrs. James for allowing me to speak for just a few moments. She said I would like me to have some brief closing remarks. She stressed brief. She knows my reputation, so I will try to keep it to that. I want to thank the Dexter Public School System, the staff and administration for supporting this event and allowing it to occur here each and every year. We, as Alan said, we live in the greatest country here on earth, and we live in an absolutely wonderful community, ladies and gentlemen. I want to read a quote from General Douglas MacArthur, one of the greatest military leaders of World War II. He said, "Duty, honor, and country. Those three hallowed words reverently dictate what you ought to be, what you can be, and what you will be." And I thought about that many, many times. I, like Alan and a lot of other people in this room, are a product of Dexter School System. I started here in first grade. I graduated in 1970, ladies and gentlemen, so I am old. I'm 73 years old. But I assure you, what your parents tell you, that the older you get, the faster time goes. That is true. So enjoy your time here at this school system. It is a wonderful school system. I'm a proud graduate of that. And I went on, and when I was sitting in high school many, many years ago as a high school senior, I never dreamed I would be the mayor of Dexter. And I am proud of that honor. I have served the community in various and sundry committees and roles throughout the year, and have been very proud of that. And I hope that you, ladies and gentlemen, will come back. But if you don't, whatever community you go to, you live in, you serve in that community, because that's what makes this country great. It's the small towns, it's people from rural America that have pride in our nation, that are willing to take up arms and go to war if the need be. And I urge you to participate. I want to make a quote, read a quote from John F. Kennedy. This is the most quoted thing that John F. Kennedy ever said, and it was from his inaugural address. And you all are familiar with this. Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. And that happened in his inaugural speech many, many years ago. But that is still true today, and I would encourage you to do that. One of my favorite presidents was President Ronald Reagan. Regarding Veterans Day and freedom, I thought this was an appropriate quote. "Freedom is never more than one generation from extinction. We didn't pass it to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and handed on for them to do the same. Or one day, we will spend our sunset years telling our children and our children's children what it was once like in the United States, where men were free." It's up to each and every one of us to keep the freedoms that the veterans here that are living, and the ones that did not make it home from war, fought and died for. My wife's cousin, or my wife's uncle, was on D-Day. He was the second wave on the beaches of Normandy. I've heard some of the horrific stories that he has told. And it's because of men and women who have laid their lives down and are still willing to this day to defend our country that what makes us great. On Veterans Day, we honor all who answered to a service call. Soldiers young and soldiers old fought for freedom, brave and bold. Some have lived while others died, and all of them deserve our pride. We're proud of all the soldiers who kept thinking of the red, white, and blue. They fought for us and all our rights. And though we may not know each name, we thank all veterans just the same. May God bless you. May God bless America. Thank you.